Hey guys, what's up? This is Nayan here from Barrack Solutions, and today I'm gonna give a review of Windows 8. I'm running Windows 8 Professional 64-bit. Now let's talk about the look, feel and design of Windows 8. Windows 8 is exactly similar as Windows 7, and the only changes in the desktop is the desktop wallpaper. The default desktop wallpaper now is a flower, and we don't have the start button in the taskbar. Now Windows 8 also has a new user interface which has been added by Microsoft, and this user interface, people are already familiar with this user interface. It is there in Windows Phone 7 and Windows Phone 8, and this user interface is known as the Metro UI. In order to access this particular user interface, you have to press the Windows key on the keyboard, or you can just drag your cursor of mouse to the bottom left hand corner and you have a start button. That's the new start button and it takes you to the new Metro UI. So let's just go over there, and there we go. So we are in the Metro UI now, and this is how the Metro UI looks. Now the Metro UI applications are completely different from the old Windows applications. The Metro UI applications have something new in them, that is they are full screen apps, and second, they are live apps. So every Metro app has a live tile associated with it, which will give me all the latest data of what's happening in that particular application, and it will keep me informed with the latest up-to-dates. So let's take an example of the weather application. Now the weather application is currently set to Mumbai. Since I have not opened up this application, it's not got the data. Once it gets the data, it will constantly update the temperature and keep letting me know what's the latest forecast. So I'm constantly updated with the latest weather forecast of my current location. So that's what live apps do, and or you could say the Metro apps do. And second thing about Metro apps is the badges. So if Metro apps have some notifications, let's say the Microsoft Store. Now the Microsoft Store wants to say that there are 14 applications that need update. So it will automatically add a number over here, which will be nothing but a badge, and that will let me know how many applications need update. And if I want to browse all the application, I can scroll through the bottom scroll bar, left and right. And if I want to have a look at all the application at once, I can click on the minus sign over here, and I get a overview of all the applications at once. So now if I want to zoom in into a particular section, I can just select that particular section and I can zoom in. Now if I want to change the alignment of the application, let's say I want the Photos app to come on the top and the Desktop app to come over here. So I can definitely do that by just dragging and dropping the Metro app wherever I want. Now if I want to browse all the applications on my Windows 8, I can just right click in the start menu, that's the Metro UI section, and I get all apps section. Now in the all apps section, till here that you are seeing the application section, it is all Metro apps. Once it starts with all the 7-Zip, Google Chrome, TextMeth, those are not Metro applications. They are like all those old basic Windows 7 applications. So that's the difference between Metro apps and the old apps. And one more thing, if you notice, the Metro apps have a much better icon and logo. So, and they are completely a square shaped logo. It's not like the old application logos, which are small and not that eye catchy. Now if I want to access the application by ABCD, I can do that by clicking on the minus sign over here, and there you go, I get all the application sorted out by ABCDEFGHIJKLMNO, etc, etc. So let's say C, I get all the application which have C in them. So that's how this works, and that's pretty good. Now let's talk about some of the features that is there in Windows 8 operating system. First, let's talk about the new buttons that have been added in the right sidebar. So if you actually take the mouse cursor towards the right hand corner bottom, you get a new toolbar that pops up in the right sidebar, and you just need to drag your cursor upwards and it will get activated. Now there is the search button, share button, the Metro UI start button, devices connected button, settings button. Let's look at the search button. Now the search has definitely improved a lot in Windows 8. Now as I type, it will start searching, and as you can see, I have just typed in basics and I'm sorry, I just typed in basics, and you can see there's a file search, and it says basics of Linux, which is basically a PDF file, and it searches by three categories, that is basically apps, settings, and files. And it is really quick and fast and not laggy and hangy like the not responding like the Windows 7. It is really fast in Windows 8. So that's basically the search feature. Let's have a look at the rest of the features. We have the share button. Now the share button allows you to share files and application with your friends directly, and it allows you to share with the applications you have installed on your Windows 8. So that's really cool, and it's really good, and it's really handy. Currently I don't have anything to share, so I cannot show you that feature. Then we have the start button, which just takes us to the Metro UI. Then we have the devices button, which tells us which devices are connected to the Windows 8 machine. And then finally we have the settings button, which allows me to go to the control panel. Since I'm on the desktop, it will not activate that particular button, but I can directly go to the control panel. I can change the personalization directly from over here, and let's say what's more, I can get the PC information, and I can also get the help menu where I will get all the help and support for my Windows 8 machine. And at the bottom we have the wireless network selection. I can select my wireless network. I can also select the volume. I can change the brightness, which is currently unavailable in my Windows 8 machine. I can change the notifications. I can even power off or restart my Windows personal computer and change the language input through of my keyboard. And I can also change my PC settings. So the PC settings is a different application which provides basic PC settings like wireless network, ease of access. Ease of access is basically like a voice, if you want to activate voiceover and something else, or you want to change the notification system and all that stuff. So you can just go into the PC settings through that. The notifications have definitely improved. Now every application gives us notification. Let's say for example Google Chrome. If I download some particular application from Google Chrome, it will just let me know that the application has downloaded successfully, and I can browse that particular application. So I am constantly updated with the latest things happening with my applications. And like I was talking about the live app, live tiles, you can see this is the sports app, and it's giving me the latest sports news with the picture and the news. And this is the news app, which is giving me the latest news. So it's constantly changing and it's giving me the latest information. And this is the finance app. So that's basically the live app. Now one more awesome thing about Windows 8 is the SkyDrive integration. Now SkyDrive is the cloud service which provides 7 GB free storage, and it is the cloud service provided by Windows itself, that's Microsoft. And I can store all my documents, files and pictures, and I can browse them anywhere in the world where I have internet. So that's really awesome, and I can carry all my files anywhere I want. That's one of the most important features and awesome features that I found in Windows 8. Now one more good thing about Windows 8 is that it comes inbuilt with Windows Defender, which is really good because I don't need to download any more antivirus softwares, and Windows Defender will take care of all the viruses and malware on my Windows 8. So that's pretty good and neat. Let's talk about the multitasking. To do multitasking on Windows 8, you can just take the cursor of your mouse towards the top left and then just drag it down, and you'll get all the applications that are running. You can select any application that you want to go back to, and you can come back to the Metro UI by clicking the Windows button on your keyboard. And if you want the application to run side by side, you can definitely do that too. Let's say I'm running Bing Travel and now I want the games application to run side by side, so I can just drag it and drop it, and I can increase the size of that particular application. So I can actually access two applications at a time, and that's really cool. So that increases my productivity, and that's really awesome once again. So let's get this back and let's come back to the desktop. Now what else did I observe in the Windows 8 was the File Explorer. So now the File Explorer has some rich icons for close, maximize and minimize buttons, and we also have some more buttons added in the top navigation bar over here. So let's say if I select this particular file, that is make Linux OS, I can actually get more options like select all, select none, invert the selection, check the history, get the properties, that's the data about that file, what's the size and all that stuff, create a new folder, and everything has a new icon. So it's really easy to browse. Now let's have a look at the applications, the Metro applications one by one. So let's go for the mail app. Now I have not added my mail, but I'll just give you a look of how the mail looks like, and it's really good because I had tried once and I just deleted my account, so I cannot show you my emails for sure. And I can set up my email like Outlook, Google or Yahoo or anyone. So I can also change it in my settings, and it's really good and easy to browse. So that's how the mail app will look. Over here I'll have all my inbox and all that stuff. Over here I'll have my mails, and over here I'll have the text inside the mail. So that's how it's been organized. Now next up is the weather app, and weather app makes use of the AccuWeather website. So there we go, and that's the weather app. I can get hourly status of my weather, I can get historical weather, I can get the average high, average low, and all the other details. I can right click on the application and I can get the world weather. I can change the places which I want of which I want the weather. I can set a particular place as my home and do a lot of stuff. So that's pretty much the weather application. Then we have the sports news. So the sports news is pretty good, but it does not support all the news. Just clicking on the minus button will give us an overview of what it provides us with. So that's basically the sports news. It provides us news from the Bing Sports, and I can get overview of all the news. I can get the top stories. I can get the schedule of my favorite sports. I can change my favorite team. I can add a particular team, and let's say I want to add India. Currently, it's not supporting India, so that's really bad. Let's try something else. Okay, it's for the US only, and it does not support any other country. So that's something which I didn't like. However, the top stories will include all the sports, whether it is cricket, whether it's football or Formula 1 or tennis, etc. So that was the sports news. Then we have the news app, which will provide us news from all over the world on all the topics, and it comes from Bing News. So I can just have a look at everything, that is top stories, headlines, entertainment, business, India and world. Now India, because I'm living in India, it will automatically detect your location and detect your country. So that is basically the news app, and I can also have my sources. However, I cannot add any source. I can have these basic sources from Bing News. So that is basically the news app. Then we have the photos application. Now the photos application is pretty good. It provides me information of all the photographs that I have on my Windows 8 machine, on my SkyDrive and other social accounts. So let's have a look at the photos that I have on my machine, and it includes the image, let's say make Linux OS, and this image, you can see it comes in a full screen, and it really puts the person into immerses the person into the picture, and it's really cool because it's giving me a full view of the picture. And I'm sorry, let's go back to the image. Then I can even go for the camera roll, and that's basically the camera roll and all the video files and my images. Now camera roll is basically all the images shot through the webcam of your Windows machine. Then we have the people app, which contains all the contacts, and it will get synced with all your social accounts. So that's something really good, and I'm really excited to use this feature because I really wanted this feature in Windows 7, but now I have it in Windows 8. So it's really good. Then we have the messaging app, which is nothing but the chat app where I can actually chat with all my friends, whether it is my Facebook friends or my Windows Live friends. Then I have the finance application, which will provide me all the data of finance from Bing Finance, and I can just get all these news, that is today's news. I can get my portfolio, that's all my stocks that I have a look at, that's basically the watch list, the market currently, the news, I'm sorry for that, the news for all the markets, and the best from the web. So that's pretty much with the finance app, and it also provides me with the currencies, that is it will automatically adjust your city country, and it will give you currency ratio with other countries, other topmost countries like US, Europe, etc. So that's the finance application. Then we have the calendar. You can set up your events, some birthdays, etc. It's pretty simple. You can just right click, go by day, go by week, go by month. You can even add a new event, or you can go by today. So that's the calendar app. And then let's go for the music application, which I found to be pretty much mediocre and not that great. It has options of searching by albums, artists, songs, and playlist. I can create a playlist, and I've not created one. However, there's no option to search by a particular category, let's say soundtrack or rock style or pop style. There's no option to do that. And right clicking allows you to open a particular file, change the playback option, and pause or stop the particular song that you're playing. So that's pretty much with the music application, and there's no search option, so you cannot search the music, which is pretty bad, and that's why I hated this application to the core. Then we have the maps application, and it's again an okay application. I didn't find it to be that great. It uses Bing Maps, and I can just zoom into a particular area. We have the plus minus signs to zoom in and zoom out. Then we have the scale at the bottom, and right clicking the application allows me to add a pin, show traffic, change the map style to hybrid or something else, find my location, get directions, or find for something in my country or anything in the world. All the data is provided by Bing Maps. Then comes the Microsoft Store, which I find it to be the worst store ever made, and that's basically because I cannot search for an application in the store. I can search only by categories. Let's say I want to search for a game, let's say Modern Combat, and I know it is a game, so I'll go into the game category. I cannot search for that application. I have to browse through all the games, that is 845 applications, and that's really a big headache for anyone in the world. So I sincerely found this feature to be disappointing and irritating. I hope Windows gets a good feature in the future near update. It gets a good update to its Microsoft Windows Store, and hopefully update with the new feature that I wanted. And I can have a look at all the categories at once by clicking on the minus sign, and that is basically the Microsoft Store. The looks are really good, but it lacks a lot of number of lots of apps, and secondly, most of the apps are paid, so that's one thing which I didn't like. Then let's go back to the next application, and that is SkyDrive. So SkyDrive allows you to store documents online, as you can see, I only have one document, and that is basically the basics of Linux, which I just made recently. Then I can have my pictures public, and I can even create a new folder. And right clicking the application allows me to refresh, create a new folder, upload, get the details of a particular file, or select all the files. So that's basically the SkyDrive application. And then we have the Games app. Now the Games app is connected with the Xbox games, so you get a gamer tag and you can add friends and can compete with them by sharing your scores and challenging them with your scores. So that is pretty much with the Xbox Games app, and you can also buy Xbox 360 games right from over here. So that's something cool if you have an Xbox gaming console. So that's the Xbox 360 game store that as you can see. Then we have the Windows game store, and the Spotlight, and the friends, and my gamer tag. So that's basically the Xbox 360 games application. We have the travel app, which gives me information of some of the awesome places to visit if you're traveling, and all the data is again comes from Bing Travel. So currently the featured city is Panama, and other featured destinations I can book my flights, hotels, and get some news also. So that's pretty helpful and good application. And then we have the camera application. The camera application basically allows you to click a photograph of yourself or take a video of yourself. And click a photograph, you just need to click on the left mouse click. That's allows you to take a photograph. And for the video mode, you just need to click on the video mode and click a video, and it will start shooting the video. So currently it is shooting the video, and I will just stop it. And I can browse the videos and photos by just clicking on the left button in the sidebar, and then I can just view my videos and photos. So that is basically the camera application. And then we have the video application. The video application allows you to play the Windows media format, that is WMV, and it does not support MPEG 4. So that's really bad, and I'll tell you why that is bad in the end when we talk about the bugs. Now let's talk about the transfer speeds. So let's connect the pen drive, and now I have my pen drive. It has one file, it's a MPEG 4 file. So let's drag and drop it, and let's see how the Windows 8 performs. So you can see the speed is definitely improved. A 2 GB pen drive, which used to give me 10 Mbps, 10 MB per second transfer rate from pen drive to the operating system on Windows 7, gives me 18 Mbps and 18 MB per second on Windows 8. So definitely the performance has definitely improved. Now let's try transferring the same file from the operating system to the pen drive, and the speed comes down to 5 MB per second, which is a bit of a shocker, because I used to get at least 8 MB per second. So there has been a decrease in the speed transfer from operating system to the pen drive. So definitely that's one area which Windows should have improved. And in the battery performance, I would say that the battery high performance has definitely improved. The battery works much more longer. The battery which used to work for like 1.5 hours now works for 3 hours on my Windows 8. Now my battery works for exactly double the time. So definitely the battery life has improved. Who should use Windows 8? Well, all those users who use Windows for basic purposes like listening to music, doing multimedia work like video editing, or business users who check their mails regularly, use internet, or use MS Office, they should definitely download Windows 8. Now, all those users who are hardcore gamers and play really high graphical games on their Windows personal computers, they should stick to Windows 7, because still the best game developers have not updated their high graphical games, and there's no update from them whether they're gonna make Metro apps or not for the game. So stick to Windows 7. I would rate Windows 8 as 3 on 5. The good features that I found in Windows 8 include Metro UI, new options in the right sidebar, and the multitasking. According to me, the best features were the new Metro UI and the multitasking in Windows 8. Talking about the problems in Windows 8, I feel there are two user interfaces, that is the old Windows 7 user interface and the new Metro UI, and this makes it a bit complicated for the first timers. And according to me, Microsoft should have just stick to the new Metro UI in Windows 8. Now second is the Microsoft Store, and I think Microsoft Store is the most pathetic store in the world, and that's basically because it does not have any search option and it is not well organized. Now the third problem is that Windows 8 cannot play MPEG-4 file format, and that's really annoying, and that's basically because the camera application shoots the video at MPEG-4 format, and none of the applications in Windows 8 that come inbuilt support this particular format. So that's really bad. Now the fourth problem is the two settings in Windows 8, that is the control panel and PC settings. So I don't understand why Microsoft has added two settings instead of one. According to me, there should have been only one particular settings or application where I can browse all my settings of my Windows 8. So that's it with this video, guys. I hope you guys liked it. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and visit techbarrack.com.